Open Cup final. Woo! 2 finals in a row. Leeds Cup and then the US Open Cup. Twice in a month. Twice in as many as 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We win one. Let's see what happens with this one. But, woo! My goodness. This game had many anxieties, much like the final a few days ago. Ay, Dios mío. Woo. Ooh. All right. Okay. We go against a very tough and a beast FC Cincinnati in Cincinnati, Ohio, where the stadium itself is a little bit difficult to play, but we have a good record, somewhat of a good record there. If you remember, 2021, there was Gonzalo Higuain scoring 2, and then there's another player named Breck Shea who also scored in that game alone, the first game, and then months later he scored what was only the only goal of that game. So, prior to this game, we were 2-1 in that stadium. I think the stadium is called TQL Stadium. That's in Cincinnati, Ohio. FC Cincinnati, top team in the East, and not to mention we're playing the heat wave. Not that Miami team isn't used to the blistering heat like that already, but Cincinnati was going through a heat wave. They called this a death ridge in that certain parts of the Midwest where it's weather nonsense. But anyway, we're not talking about weather. We're talking about this game. So, what's up? How did this happen? Well, we're going to talk about it. All right, so we start off this game with the possession of the ball. FC Cincinnati with a good defense. Excuse me. FC Cincinnati has a good defense, and we know this too. They have a good back line. But how does Miami's offense continue the momentum against a very powerful team like FC Cincinnati, especially with its defense and their counter score? Now, this game we did not start off good, as you probably would expect, because unlike some of the teams that we have played, well, Philadelphia, Nashville, and Orlando City is an exception. And Dallas too, because Dallas we faced some pretty tough challenges in that game, much like we face challenges in this game. Now, that's the same. It's kind of the same thing, right? The same adversary. We're down points. How many points we were down? Well, we're definitely gonna talk about it. Now, we gave up a score, and Calendar nearly saved the soccer ball. It was Luciano Acosta who scores an opening goal for FC Cincinnati in the 18th minute. And that was a nice goal, too. That was a really nice goal. And afterwards, Cincinnati almost were up 2-0. Eventually they did. But they were up 2-0 until you realize they were offside. So they were offside in that possession. Miami trying to equalize there. And Miami had a possession of the ball. They were trying to give it to Messi. Messi didn't have much of a big impact in that scenario. So where did they try to go? They tried to go to Leonardo Cabana and somebody else. Busquets. Now another player that we need to talk about is G. Mota. So Mota, as you would expect, he was out with injury for a good period of time. He came back in this game, and as you would expect, he was very, very rusty. He was making a lot of mistakes, bad passes, nearly costly turnovers. But and Manchester United fans were quick to give him a headache on social media. For me, you gotta give him the benefit of the doubt. He just came back from injury. This is his first game back, and the rust is there. I mean, it happens to everyone. The rust is there. But anyway, I'm glad to see G. Mota back. I'm glad to see him back from his injury. Injuries suck no matter who you are, no matter who you're playing. but but um but then afterwards, we were having trouble scoring, and as well as Cincinnati trying to make stuff in. Um, then we go to halftime, and then we come out, and we are already in deep trouble. And what else? Yeah, we are already in trouble. So remember, in the Dallas game, we were down to 2 points. I can't say 2-0 because that's not true. We were down 2 points in that game for the majority of that time. 2 points. In this game, we're down 2 points. We were down 2-0. And now in the 53rd minute, Brandon Vasquez would score another goal for Cincinnati. 2-0 in that game in the 53rd minute. And then Miami are trying to get that points in, and everyone's quick to say game over was. And I said to them, remember, no matter what happens, we are League's Cup champions. That is a fact now. It's proven that. With this game, since it happened in the 53rd minute, I really can't say we lose hope because Inter Miami now knows how to make this crazy comebacks that they did, especially with a game like Dallas. And I bring up Dallas because it's a good example. They're a good team. They're in heat advisories. That's another example. I'm sorry to say, but heat advisories. So anyway, Miami trying to get some points in. So we finally get to the 68th minute. It was a set-piece goal. And the reason why I said set-piece goal because it was a free kick from the left side of the field. Messi had the ball. He kicks it, and he finds Campana. And Campana was one of the second top scorers last season behind Gonzalo Higuain. He scores that one from Messi, and just like that, we're down 2-1. Campana contributing big way right there. And great to see Campana scoring some goals in. Because Campana is such a good player. Some of us forget that because of the Messi hype, and some of us forget because now we got big name players from Barcelona, and Campana was overshadowed also by Gonzalo Higuain and being overshadowed by Messi. So we tend to forget. For me, I remember Campana's skill, and Campana is no different. Yes, he's been quiet this year, but this was a big goal, especially coming from Lionel Messi. Then we got into big trouble afterwards because there was a set-piece goal from Cincinnati that they converted 3-1. However, handball was called, and that was a correct call. That ball clearly hit the right hands. I forgot who it was from Cincinnati, but handball was called, and we're still down 2-1. Now, just like that, Miami had most of the possession, most of the momentum trying to get that tying goal. We're making substitutions. Tata Martino wasting no time trying to get some offense on the field. It works perfectly. So, Gomez was subbed off, and Joseph Martinez comes in. Yedlin comes off. Facundo, I apologize. Farias comes in for Yedlin, and Aviles subs off for Noah Allen. Noah Allen comes in, so we're getting some offense in. So we're trying to get some equalizing moments, but the midfield from Inter Miami is still an issue. The turnovers are still an issue. Cincinnati nearly made us pay. I'm not talking big time pay. They a lot of times they could have made it 3-1 and put this game away. But the problem is they didn't pull the trigger of making a shot. And one of the remaining midfielders came and stepped up and then clears the ball away. Kamal Miller got subbed off for Robert Taylor in that scenario afterwards. So then we go to stoppage time. where Miami's still trying to get that equalizing goal, while Cincinnati's still trying to put the game away. We finally get to the death, and the death is pretty much the last minute, last second of the time that was supposed to expire. Messi with another pass. It's Campana again, and he puts a free header into the back of the net from the left side. We tied it up 2-2. It's Campana again, and just like that, we go to extra time. Now, in the last game, we go straight to penalties. In U.S. Open Cup, it's like the World Cup. We go to the U.S. Open Cup. Well, we're in the U.S. Open Cup. We're going extra time U.S. Open Cup. There we go. So, extra time is up. In Miami, wastes no time. Because in 3 minutes into first extra time, it's Jose Martinez. Just kicks one into the back of the net, nails it, and shell-shocks FC Cincinnati. And we came right back. We came all the way back. And we lead 3-2 heading to the second half of extra time. Now, not much has happened in the first extra time half, but like I say, it's FC Cincinnati. Momentum shift to them because they are looking to knock on that door to get the equalizing goal like Inter Miami was all game long. So now we go to the second half of extra time. The midfield the ball got through the midfield into the penalty box, and that ball was kicked in, snuck through, much like the first goal was snuck through Yoya Cabot, and FC Cincinnati equalizes there in the 114th minute, and Miami almost scored another go-ahead goal, and none of them were able to score a go-ahead goal, and once again, second straight game, we go to penalties. Now they're talking about the penalty shootout against Miami FC, that how they narrowly edged out Miami FC, and then now they mentioned a little bit about the Leagues Cup against Nashville, which everyone knows that story by now. That was an incredible moment. The moment I'll never forget for the rest of my entire life. And folks watched that video, generally congratulating us Miami fans. Some of them were generally nice people. The new subscribers, who, before I even continue the penalties, to the new subscribers, first off, welcome to Miami TVG. We post content like Into Miami, but I also post content like the Florida Panthers, Miami Marlins, Miami Heat, Miami Dolphins, Miami Hurricanes, and sometimes FIU Panthers, FAU Owls, and eventually the new team, Miami Sharks. So that's what we post, and we post beaches. We post now I post concerts. Bottom line, thank you for coming in and subscribing. You won't regret it one bit. And thank you for coming in. Give me a heartfelt message in the comments. I saw all the comments, even the one that says fake video, which definitely not fake, I promise you. But yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you. It really meant. It actually caught me off guard, and actually made me ecstatic that that video kind of blew up, and more audience came in to watch that video and subscribe to this channel. I got folks from obviously the U.S. I got folks from Argentina. How are you guys doing? Buenos dias. And I got folks from Indonesia. How you doing, Indonesia? How are you? I'm really glad you came. I hope I don't let you all down. I really hope I don't let you all down. Especially now that we're going to the frickin' U.S. Open Cup final for the first time in history. And how do they do it? Now we're going to talk about the penalties. All right, so Cincinnati gets the first ball. So Yoya Cabo, who scored that equalizer goal in the 114th minute, and puts one in. Drake Counter almost saved the ball to the right side. It was close. And next up is Messi. Now this goalie, Alec Khan, I didn't really mention too much about him, but Alec Khan, he's a big goalie. He's a really good goalie. They have to approach him in a creative way. He's 6'4", 192 pounds. 6'4", probably one of the tallest goalkeepers in soccer, in MLS at least. So Miami have to get just a bit creative, have to do little tricks. Messi gets one in. It's pretty much automatic with Messi. So tie it up. Next up is Santiago Arias. He gets one in. Next up is Fernando Farias. And he gets one in. He ties it up for Miami in the penalty shootout. Now we go to round 3. Sergio Santos puts one in really quick penalty goal for him. So Cincinnati back up 3-2. David Ruiz, another nice move, much like what he did against Nashville. Puts one in, ties it up again. Matt Miazga gets one in. Nice goal from Cincinnati. So, much like the Leagues Cup final, my heart was having a pretty good time with the adrenaline, sarcastically speaking. Next up is Joseph Martinez, and he buries it. Next up, after the tie one, next up is Nick Haglund, and the ball was saved on the right side. Huge for Inter Miami, because that sets up a winner potentially for Kermashi, Chris Bisacane hometown kid. Just like what he did with FC Dallas, he gets one in and he wins it. This time, not to go to the quarterfinal, not against Dallas, but against Cincinnati. And then we go to the U.S. Open Cup final. First time ever. Second finals trip in as many as 2 weeks. Actually, within a week, now that I think about it. Last week, we got to the finals on Tuesday against Philadelphia. Then the game was played on Saturday. 8 days later, we go to finals again. This time, U.S. Open Cup final, where we wait the winner of Real Salt Lake and Houston Dynamo. And to give credit where credit's due, FC Cincinnati, they played good soccer. They are the definition of why they are the top team of the East. Now, Houston, right now, as at this time of the recording, Houston's currently up 1-0. Now, I point up Houston because, depending on this game, either A, we don't host the final, or we do. If Real Salt Lake if Real Salt Lake wins this game against Houston, then there's a possible chance we play at Salt Lake City. But if Houston wins, there might be a small chance that we play at their stadium. Now it's just a theory, but there's also a bigger possibility that we play at Dry Paint Stadium in Inter Miami. Or I'm wrong. Not that I'm wrong. The reason why I said Dry Paint Stadium, there's a possible chance that if the Dolphins agree and if Inter Miami can somehow pull this off, there's a pretty good chance that we can host the game, the U.S. Open Cup final, at Hard Rock Stadium. Now, Hard Rock Stadium, it's the home of the Miami Dolphins and the Miami Hurricanes football team. I'm going to be at that stadium within a week or so. It's a football stadium, just so that everyone's clear. But and I brought up Hard Rock Stadium because, one, it's the Messi is what's making people come in, right? Every game is sold out. and they went as far as making the northeast corners of Drive Paint Stadium. With this game, if we host the U.S. Open Cup and a good possibility of hosting at Hard Rock Stadium Stadium's capacity is up to about 65,000 to 80,000 seats. That is a lot of people to sell out in the U.S. Open Cup for Inter Miami. I think it's a good plan. I think it will work perfectly. Just the thing is, if Houston wins, that might be a possibility. I don't know. These are all just possibilities and theories. But the whole point here, the bigger note here, Inter Miami wins this game 5-4, 3-3 penalties. And we have a final. We have a final to play, and that final's not going to be played until September 27th, I believe, and that's on a Wednesday. Congratulations to Inter Miami once again. Vamos! Yes. So, I'm really happy once again, and if we win this final, if we win this U.S. Open Cup final, I'll probably make a parade. I don't know. But one comment said, if there's a chance U.S. Open Cup final happens for Inter Miami, if Miami beats Cincinnati, is there a possibility I could do a full game reaction? Now that that's happened, I think I'll do it again. I'll definitely do it again. This time, full reaction. And let's win the U.S. Open Cup trophy. League's Cup trophy, not quite enough. Let's win the U.S. Open Cup and tie up Orlando City. Have one more trophy, and let's make history. I don't know if anyone has made history. Maybe Atlanta United. I'm not quite sure, but regardless, I think we just did make history, and it's a good history. This whole year has been good history for Miami sports, and I'm happy to be part of the privilege. So that's going to do it for this video, folks. If you have enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more content, because Miami TVG has it back. And when he does, he'll be right there with you for the entertainment you deserve. Season 3 continues next week, and I will see you guys then. Miami TVG signing out, folks. Adios.